Well, good morning, fellow Affordaplane builders. This is Terry Adair in Houston, Texas. And no, you're not watching one of my old videos. I have actually taken the entire front end of the airplane apart. And why, may you ask? Well, all of the parts that I was waiting for, including my new main jets from RPE and Matt Dandar, came in. And I put those in, and along with a bunch of other stuff. Ran the engine yesterday, and NeedleJets seem to be doing a better job at keeping those cylinder heads cool, but I noticed that there was smoke coming from underneath this thing when I was right after I cranked it up, and I didn't know where it was. I shut it off immediately, and I crawled underneath here and I inspected everything to see did something short out, what was burning. Visually, I couldn't see anything, but I've taken this whole thing apart. The only thing I could see visually was that little black dot down there, and it turns out it was this unit right here that I had mounted over here, and this is a DC to DC converter, converts to 12 volts to 5 volts, and this was for my cell phone. And if you look right about where my thumb is, you'll see that little blister. This thing popped. So I took it out, and I wasn't able to start my engine back up. Well, you know what? Let me step back a little bit. After it started smoking and I did the inspection and couldn't find anything, we did start the engine, and it did run. It ran well. But we shut it off for a little while because I had a visitor, and then I came back after they left and tried to start it up again, and at that point it wouldn't start up. So you know, now we're here, we found all that. So I immediately thought, hey, I'm not getting any spark, and I may have done a boo-boo here, but I took the plug wires off, and I just pulled the plugs out. And I had let 3 of these just kind of sit to the side while I took the 4th one and grounded and tried to turn over to see if I had any spark, and I didn't see any. But I've since learned that that could possibly damage the CDI over here. And I hope I haven't, but it's also possible that, that little unit right there may have done some damage. But I took it out of the circuit, cleaned everything up. This is where it was connected, and I cut that off, and I put a couple of pieces of shrink tubing on there so that it doesn't ground on anything or short, and then I hooked everything back up the way it's supposed to be, and we're not able to start the engine now, so I'm hoping I didn't damage these things. Long story short here, I'm trying to see if anybody knows how to check these CDIs. I have to quote Forrest Gump on this. I ain't a smart man, but I know what love is. Well, I did a little research, and I put my own meter on here to see if I was getting any resistance. My manual doesn't really show me what kind of resistance I'm supposed to be getting. I know that I was getting continuity between these 2 items right here on the coil. I don't get anything on there, and I don't know if I'm supposed to get anything on there. But my meter just said 0, when I plugged it in. I did replace the switch. Seemed like I was having a problem with the switch as well. And, it could have been any number of things, because of the ground over there, or that shorted out. But if anybody knows any, way to test these out, I know that I am getting continuity back up here to these blue wires that go into the box, and I would expect that I would be getting some continuity coming out, but I could be wrong. So if anybody has any ideas on how to check these out, we get this little Hertz engine running again, and I think I'm going to clean up this wire. I think I'm going to go ahead and put some covering over these wires once I get through checking everything out and make sure there's nothing else causing any issues. But everything else works fine. We have power. and the lights are working, and the engine information system seems to be working. You know, we got good voltage on the battery. I think we're at 13.2. Our compass is lit up. Obviously, the charger here for the phone doesn't work anymore because it's just hanging. And I took that thing out of the circuit. You know, we did replace a couple of 10 amp breakers down there, which popped on us. So, friends, if you guys, you know, have any ideas here, you're smarter than me about these electronics on these CDIs, I would sure appreciate it. I've been trying to get a hold of Matt this morning, and I don't know if he's taking a holiday or what he's doing, but nobody's answering the phones over there right now. And I'm just going to keep trying. Maybe he's going to come in late. So, that's it. Hope somebody can help me out with this issue. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the official Affordaplane page. And I think I'll put it up on the Hearth Engine Fanatics page too. Look forward to hearing your comments about this little problem I'm having. It's just Terry A. there in Houston, Texas, building the Affordaplane with the Hearth engine, signing out.